My name is Dan Rigazzi. I'm the stage director of Noah's Flood. I'm also serving as the associate producer on the project. What I think makes St. Bart's unique as a performance space is the building itself. It's a sacred space, and like all great sacred spaces, it makes you think about things that are outside of yourself. Urban living is about my box right here, about who's right in front of me, about the path I'm walking on, but sacred spaces in cities make you look up. And it's interesting to think about the fact that the greatest sacred spaces in human history happened when they were built at a time when cities first came together. So you associate the great city of Ur and Sumer with the ziggurat. There was no reason to have a building like that until there was a city, because you need it in urban living to remember that there's something else here. And so when you come to a place like St. Bartholomew's to hear a concert, you are already in a completely different frame of mind for listening and experiencing the music than you are in just a regular concert hall or outside in the park, for instance. You are in a dedicated sacred space that's about quiet. So it's good. So for that reason, anything that happens here is special because the building itself is special. From a musical standpoint, unlike a lot of churches, this church doesn't have a lot of reverberation. So it's good for concerts that have orchestra and voice because there isn't so much swimmy acoustic. You can still have clarity within that. A challenge here is that because the room is a drier room, voices don't carry as much. So for that reason, in staging Noah's Flood, I have to put everybody on the steps that are at the top of the chancel or just to the downstage part of the chancel because that's actually where the sweet spot in the room is. The plan ultimately is to take out these pews and to have cathedral seating that's movable. When that happens, you'll be able to take an entire performance space and put it right under the dome here and be able to move the orchestra so that everybody will be in the ideal acoustic spot. And I think when that happens, this is going to be a very special place for any kind of concert.
Can I back up?
So right now there's a really fantastic plan at St. Bartholomew's to remove all of these pews and replace them with cathedral seating. And what that means for performances here is that you'll be able to move the orchestra and the singers out into the house beneath the dome, which is where the best acoustic spot in the room is. You'll also be able to move seating around in such a way that you can make sure everyone has optimal sight lines, which is hugely important. The other thing it'll do is that the building seats 1,200, but not every concert wants to be a concert for 1,200 people. If you want to have something that's more intimate with maybe 600 people or 400 people, you can simply remove the seats you don't want. So I think once the cathedral seating is in place, this will be an even more ideal place to have concerts. So this piece was designed to be a community building performance experience. Parts were written for professional musicians, for amateur musicians, and for professional singers and children. So for instance, the first violin part was written for a professional musician, and then there are also violin parts in the score that could be played by 10-year-olds. Benjamin Britten had a music festival in Aldeborough, England, where they all came together and had a series of concerts and operas, and this piece was written for that specific festival in 1957, I believe. And the point of that was to have an event that the entire community there could rally around. So he originally had 70 animals in the chorus. He had professional singers singing the lead roles. He had his professional musicians who were there playing chamber music concerts and other things, leading the ensemble. So we tried to recreate something like that here. We have professional singers playing Noah, Mrs. Noah, and God, people who sing here at St. Bartholomew's Choir and elsewhere. We have high school students playing Noah's Children, and they come from the Department of Education's Performing Arts High School called Talent Unlimited. The animals are played by boy and girl choristers from St. Bartholomew's Church, St. John's in the Village, a lovely church in Fairfield, Connecticut. And I'm going to forget all the names of all the churches right now because I don't have them in front of me. The orchestra section leaders come from the Manhattan School of Music, and the students come from a number of different places, which has also changed in the last 2 weeks. So I don't have that on the tip of my tongue either. The point is, what's important now, hopefully this is usable, is that Noah's Flood is always, whenever it's presented, about bringing a diverse group of people together, people who are different ages, different performing, with different levels of performing experience, and also come from different parts of the community. Here in New York City, with 8 million people, that's a really big community. So we tried to reach out to places that we have some connection to. Boy and girl choristers came from churches in the area who have participated in the choir festival in previous years. The puppeteers come from Rosie's Theater Kids, which is an outreach organization that my wife happens to teach for. So when I wanted to recruit puppeteers, I asked her to come bring me some of her favorite dancers. The high school principals come from Talent Unlimited, which is one of the Department of Ed's performing arts high schools. And their teacher, their voice teacher, is a member of the choir here. It's very rewarding for me to work with children and with professionals and in the mix, because I feel like the children remind the professionals what it's like to see theater for the first time. And I think that the professionals, of course, bring all their experience on how to rehearse and how to tell a story, and they help the children learn how to do that. The best moments I've had in rehearsal with the kids were when they were seeing The Flood for the first time and had no idea how I had staged it, and they were amazed. So the trick has been to try to bottle that and get them to do it every time. My name is Dan Rigazzi. I'm the stage director of Noah's Flood and also the associate producer.